to Northeast 8 Weekly News Roundup. The Rising People's Party (RPP) has criticized the PDA government for its deafening silence on IS officer Rennie Wilfred, accused under the POCSO Act and of preying on female subordinates. RPP said the state's inaction exposed not just Wilfred's moral bankruptcy but a rotten nexus shielding him. RPP alleged that instead of suspending Wilfred, the state rewarded him, calling it criminal collusion at the highest level. It questioned the silence of IDAN chairman Abu Mata and Chief Minister Nipiru, suggesting Wilfred's protection may be a quid pro quo. Linking the issue to a larger conspiracy, RPP accused Wilfred of ridiculing the judiciary and slandering the Nagaland State Commission for Women. It noted that demands for justice from NMA, AWO, NSF and DNSU were ignored, proving Rio's administration was held hostage by Wilfred. RPP also warned the government against targeting women complainants in the IDAN department and vowed to closely monitor the situation. The party concluded that the scandal reflects the putrid underbelly of Nagaland's power structure and insisted the unholy nexus must break. The Nagaland State Commission for Protection of Child Rights (NSCPCR) has issued an advisory following a surge in child abuse cases across the state. The Commission emphasized that any form of child abuse, regardless of the perpetrator, including parents or guardians, is condemnable and must be reported to the concerned authorities for legal action. Citizens have a paramount duty to ensure child safety, as children are the backbone of the nation. NSCPCR strongly discourage out-of-court settlements, noting that such compromises indirectly embolden offenders. All offences must be dealt strictly as per the law. The public is also advised not to take the law into their own hands, as this undermines justice. Under the POCSO Act 2012, offences are non-bailable and cannot be resolved through compromise. The media and social media platforms are urged to uphold ethical standards and avoid revealing the identities of child victims. The advisory issued for the general public and law enforcement agencies urges reporting of child abuse cases to the Child Helpline 1098, SJPU, DCPU, CWC, local child helplines or the nearest police station. The Commission reaffirmed its commitment to protecting every child and ensuring swift justice, warning that no act of abuse will go unnoticed or unpunished. The Dimapur Transport Office registered 11,294 vehicles during the 2024-2025 financial year, generating Rs 46.6 crore in revenue, according to District Transport Officer DTO Bendang Longkuma. Registrations included 5,251 two-wheelers, 4,159 light motor vehicles and 1,884 commercial vehicles. The office issued 418 no objection certificates, NOCs, and registered 3,474 out-of-state vehicles. Longkuma stressed that high security registration plates HSRPs are mandatory and market plates are illegal. He reminded vehicle owners to update registration numbers within 12 months after relocating. Only central government employees and multi-state private firm workers are eligible for Bharat BH series plates. The department has installed traffic lights and convex mirrors, with more planned. A tragic road accident near Tsisapru, close to the old Chumukitima Heritage Village, claimed the lives of 2 college students and left 2 others seriously injured around 12:30 am on Thursday. According to police, the 4 male students, all in their early 20s, were returning from the viewpoint in a Bolero Invader, reportedly a government-registered vehicle acquired through auction, when it veered off an under-construction bypass road and plunged nearly 300 feet down a steep slope. 2 students, A.N. Shohei and Zai Seto Ziliang, died on the spot. The injured, Peter Kihomong and C. Pom, are undergoing treatment at CIHSR Dimapur. 3 of the students were from Sakus Mission College, SM College, and 1 from Unity College. All were residing in a private hostel in Dimapur. With no eyewitnesses, the wreckage was discovered around 6:30 am in the morning. Rescue efforts, challenged by the steep terrain, were aided by traffic police, local residents and the SDRF. The injured were rescued between 8:30 to 9 am and the bodies recovered by afternoon. The Chumukitima Village Youth Society CVYS expressed condolences and reiterated its ban on the bypass road for public use, warning of strict action against the violators.